2. The very simplicity of the notion was its charm. What more easy to win a reputation for far-seeing statesmanship, originality, and, above all, deference to the desires of the people, than by appointing a child of the country to the rule of that country? 200 million of the most loving and grateful folk under Her Majesty's dominion would laud the fact, and their praise would endure forever. Yet he was indifferent to praise or blame, as befitted the very greatest of all the viceroys. His administration was based upon principle, and the principle must be enforced in season and out of season. His pen and tongue had created the new India, teeming with possibilities, loud voice, insistent, a nation among nations, all his very own. Wherefore the very greatest of all the viceroys took another step in advance, and with its council of those who should have advised him on the appointment of a successor to Yardley Ord, there was a gentleman and a member of the Bengal civil service who had won his place and a university degree to boot in fair and open competition with the sons of the English. He was cultured, of the world, and, if report spoke truly, had wisely and above all sympathetically ruled a crowded district in southeastern Bengal. He had been to England and charmed many drawing-rooms there. His name, if the viceroy recollected aright, was Mr. Grish Chunder Day, M.A. In short, did anybody see objections to the appointment, always on principle, of a man of the people to rule the people? The district in southeastern Bengal might with advantage, he apprehended, pass over to a younger civilian of Mr. G.C. Day's nationality, who had written a remarkably clever pamphlet on the political value of sympathy in administration, and Mr. G.C. Day could be transferred northward to Kumharsan. The viceroy was averse, on principle, to interfering with appointments under the control of the provincial governments. He wished it to be understood that he merely recommended and advised in this instance. As regarded the mere question of race, Mr. Grish Chunder Day was more English than the English, and yet possessed of that peculiar sympathy and insight which among the best service in the world could only win to an end of their service. The stern, black-bearded kings who sit about the council board of India divided on the step, with inevitable results of driving the very greatest of all viceroys into the borders of hysteria and a bewildered obstinacy pathetic as that of a child. "The principle is sound enough," said the weary-eyed head of the Red Provinces, in which Kumharsan lay, for he too held theories. "The only difficulty is, put the screws on the district officials, Brigade Day with a very strong deputy commissioner on each side of him, give him the best assistance in the province, rub the fear of God into the people beforehand, and if anything goes wrong, say that his colleagues didn't back him up. All these lovely little experiments recoil on the district officer in the end," said the Knight of the Drawn Sword, with a truthful brutality that made the head of the Red Provinces shudder. On a tacit understanding of this kind, the transfer was accomplished, as quietly as might be for many reasons. It is sad to think that what goes for public opinion in India did not generally see the wisdom of the viceroy's appointment. There were not lacking indeed hirelings or hireling organs, notorious in the pay of a tyrannous bureaucracy, who more than hinted that His Excellency was a fool, a dreamer of dreams, a doctrinaire, and, worst of all, a trifler with the white lives of men. The Viceroy's excellent gazette, published in Calcutta, was at pains to thank our beloved Viceroy for once more and again thus gloriously vindicating the potentialities of the Bengali nations for extending executive and administrative duties in foreign parts beyond our ken. We do not at all doubt that our excellent fellow townsman, Mr. Grish Chunder Day, Esquire, M.A., will uphold the prestige of the Bengali, notwithstanding that what underhanded intrigue and pershubab may be set on foot to insidiously nip his fame and blast his prospects among the proud civilians, some of which will now have to serve under a despised native, and take orders too. How will you like that, misters? We entreat our beloved Viceroy still to substantiate himself superiority to race prejudice and color blindness, and to allow the flower of this now our civil service all the full pays and allowances granted to his more fortunate brethren. End of part 2.